Hi everybody, it's Marcy and I'm home, so come on in. It finally cooled off in Indiana. My husband and I took off this weekend and tried to find some fresh produce. Our tomatoes didn't do very good and we got a few onions but not much else. So we ended up at a little farm place that had a lot of fresh produce about 15 miles from our house. And this was the cutest little place. They had sunflowers and zinnias, tomatoes, mums, as far as your eye could see. It was just fantastic. We walked around for quite a while and looked at everything. They had little seating areas where you could sit and look at the flowers and see the hummingbirds. And the zinnias just were beautiful. This red one coming up, it was the size of the palm of your hand. It must have been a certain variety because I've never seen them that big. Mine don't grow that big. And the mums were beautiful. They all weren't bloomed out yet, which I really like. And we bought some. And they had little furniture pieces sitting around and flowers everywhere. And it was really well kept. It was kind of fun to see all the stuff growing on the vines still. They kept apologizing for being out of things, but they've got a lot still coming on. So I think they're going to be okay. They had pumpkins, white ones and orange ones. And I got one. I wasn't quite ready for pumpkins yet, but I got one and set it in the house. This arrangement of flowers, it was probably 5 feet wide. It was just beautiful. We got plenty of tomatoes, and I don't put up tomatoes as far as canning them because I've done it before and I failed. I wasn't very good at it, but I freeze them and I do tomato juice and I freeze that, but I don't can anymore. I couldn't wait to start cooking with these tomatoes though. So I made garden spaghetti for supper, and we do that every summer with fresh stuff. And what I do is I take like a fourth of a pound. Of course, it was just Kevin and I, but a fourth of a pound of a really good lean hamburger and peppers, tomatoes, onions, mushrooms if you want. Cook that all down and put it on your spaghetti, and it's delicious. It's so fresh. We were laughing about our salad. It was more like all tomatoes and peppers and hardly any lettuce. Then I had a little piece of roast beef left over, so I put it all in a pan with some I dumped my tomatoes in just to let the skin boil off of them, and some carrots and peas and potatoes, celery, and onions, I believe. And a little bit of cabbage. And I let that cook down for quite a while, and it smelled so good. It was a little bit thinner than I wanted, so I put some flour in a measuring cup, added a little bit of broth to it, and then I just made a little thickening, and I put the whole cup into the bowls or the pan so that it would all come out. And we had the best stew. We had it on Sunday. I put it in the fridge, and I just get turned on by all the look and the feel and the smell of fall. I just love it. I just can't get enough of it. And we had such a beautiful meal on Sunday. It was really hearty and good and fresh. And then I did get the chair. I showed you the set the other day and said, I have to get my truck and go back. Well, I got my truck and went back. One of the chairs was kind of wonky and I didn't know if I could fix it or not, so I didn't get it, but this is going to go in my French country bedroom. And then we just had such a lovely day, and we're tired, and we just sat and watched a little TV and enjoyed the lights of the fall tree. And I keep my couch about 7 inches from the wall because I don't like it bumping into the curtains and the window and everything. So I put rubber feet on it so that it wouldn't move, but I made a little 7-inch deep table, and it's about 4 feet wide to go behind the sofa so that it doesn't slide into the window. This is a little lampshade that I found that's yellow, and it's got pink roses on it. It's beautiful. And this is the living room. People keep saying, show the whole room. Don't just show a picture. Well, sometimes it's hard to get the whole room looking good. And sometimes it's hard to get the whole room in the picture, too. I don't know how these women do it. This is a little eating area at the end of our kitchen. It's got all antique oak chairs, but none of them match. And I love that. These are some roosters or chickens that I bought a set of. They're about 10 inches tall. I'm going to resell them, so I put them on the mantle in my bedroom so that they won't break. Everything I get breaks. And that brings me to my free fireplace. My friend Brenda, for about 20 years now, has been saying, come get this fireplace out of my garage. I didn't want it because someone had plastered over the wood. They put these diamond-shaped pieces of wood on it. They put fake bricks on that look like sandpaper, and they put a mirror in the opening. I didn't want it. So she called me one day and she said, hey, come get this fireplace. And I said, Brenda, I don't want it. And she said, well, it's going in the dumpster. And I said, okay, I'll come help you put it in the dumpster. So my son and I went up and we put it in the dumpster. And after we got it in there, we were standing there talking, and I kept looking at it thinking, can I fix that? Can I do anything with that? So I told Matt, and he reluctantly heaved it out of the dumpster and put it down on the ground. And I brought it home, and I put these appliques or whatever you call them from Hobby Lobby on it, and I painted the whole thing cream. And it's a dumpster fireplace. I mean, what can you expect? I would set a print up against the mirror at the bottom, but that didn't look really good. So I made a new mantle for it. I took spackling and I put the spackle over that brick so to cover up that sandpapery brick, and I painted it. Made the new mantle, stained it the color of our floor, and I started liking it. And it gave us more room to walk through the bedroom than the dresser that used to sit there. And then I started loving it. And it's got a lot of character, and it's okay. It's actually good. And we were at Restore one day, and they had this little table, and it was royal blue. It's crudely made, but it's just adorable, and it's sturdy. I told Kevin I thought it would fit right in that opening of the fireplace, and it fits perfect. It's like it was made for it. And I keep a tablecloth on it so that I can hide my crock pot underneath the tablecloth. I've got a huge crock pot I put under there. And this right now, it's got this fabric, the fabric I was showing you that was black with the roses in it, on it. And I don't know, I kind of like it. And then I put a platter on it and to throw my jewelry on and our change. And I wanted to show you this necklace. My friend Sherry makes these necklaces out of silverware. And this pendant is about 4 inches long. And she's made me 2 or 3, and they're all different sizes. And they're just beautiful. She makes rings and bracelets and necklaces and all kinds of stuff out of old silverware. And then this is another platter. I just always set a big old platter on there to catch everything because I've got so many platters. And you got to have some place to throw your stuff. This little picture is of my late mother-in-law, and I just think it's the sweetest little picture. And at the other end of the fireplace, I have a picture of my sons, our sons. I don't know if I've ever told you, but they're twins, and of course I have lots of pictures of them. I like mercury glass and pedestal bowls, so I buy a lot of those at the thrift store. No one seems to want those pedestal bowls but me. And what's this on television? I'm Home. A YouTube channel. That looks like a good one. Please like and subscribe. And then I found this print years ago at a thrift store, and it's been in a drawer. And the other day I thought, I've got a frame, get that thing framed. And it looks like fall. It's got rust and green in it, so I'm going to hang it up somewhere. I don't know where. I'm running out of space. Then this little table. This is on my porch. I'm putting some mums out. And I got this table at Goodwill, and my son and I put different wood on top of it because it wasn't quite big enough. And we used it for years in the house. And we beat up the wood and put some stain on it that was good for eating off of. And I'm too sentimental to get rid of it. And we got a smaller table, so I just put it out on the porch, and I love it. My husband found me this gigantic wreath that smells like cinnamon at a bag sale at a thrift store the other day. Have I taught him well or what? He'd ran off to see his sister, and he ended up going over there with her, and I was really proud of him. This wall is a temporary wall that I made out of furring strips to block the wind at our house because it blows everything off the porch. This is a little pumpkin I made out of scrap wood. It just cut out a pumpkin and painted it, and it just stands up on its own. I've made a bunch of them. This little flag, well, it's a big flag actually, was rolled up and had never been out of the package, and I found it at a thrift store, and I thought, that looks like burlap, and I opened it up when I got home, and it's a hummingbird. So I just hung him up on that temporary wall. And we were going to take the wall down after summer, but with the snow and everything, I think we're going to leave it up. And this little lamp made it through the summer, so that's amazing, because normally everything gets blown over and broken on the porch. So with this wall this year, the little lamp made it. And of course, I buy thrift store lamps to put on the porch, but I'm not going to have to buy one next year because this one made it, and I think it's going to make it through fall. This little desk has an opening in it that I made a sign to cover because the birds were making nests in there. And this little birdhouse was made by a man in our town named Mr. Hawk, and he painted that to look like a cabin. And I just love it. And this is the pillows that I made for my porch out of the same fabric that's on the fireplace table. And see these flowers, they've been on my porch all summer, probably last summer too. And they've got the color of the roses in that fabric. And like I said, if you pick things that you like and that you love the colors, when you get it all put together, it'll all match. It really does happen. These are the chairs, and they're wet because I've been cleaning and I've washed the windows. But look how it all blends with the shutters and the flowers and the fabric. And then this little desk, it's a old wooden end table with a primitive slant top desk on top of it. I found it in the basement of a junk store. I gave $12 for it, and it had a broken piece of wood on it, so I glued it and fixed that, and then I restained it, and I just set it on top of that, and I leave it outside. I love it. And then this is in the evening. We sit out there a lot now that we have the wall up and we don't get blown away by the wind. And then this time of year reminds me of a few years back. I put a big old table underneath an oak tree and decorated it up, and I had a bunch of my cousins, my female cousins, come over and have lunch. And we had chicken salad sandwiches and tea and pie, and we just sat around and talked about family. Our grandmas, our aunts, our great aunts, our grandpas, everybody in our family, we just reminisced. I surprised them by putting some pictures out of some of the homes and some of the people, and I used pieces of this is my great aunt Dora's water pitcher, their cookbooks, their recipes. It was just the most amazing day. We keep saying we're going to do it again, and we haven't, and we've got to get it together. We brought pictures, and we reminisced and talked about all the pictures and talked about all the people. And this is my mother. We lost her many years ago. This is my second cousin. She's Christy and Daryl's mother, Joyce. Taught me how to make the best macaroni salad with tuna in it. This is my dad and his cousins, and these are my roots. These are the people I get this from. This is why I am the way I am. They gave it to me from their recipes, their ways, their homes, their things, mostly their love for me. They loved me very much. Okay, let's get back to decorating. This is that little desk that I put the sign on to keep the birds out. This was last year how it was decorated. And if you want to make a really cute pillow for your porch, now this is a Christmas one, but you can make it fall one or Halloween or any season. TJ Maxx, Burlington, Marshalls, they all have these big plastic square shopping bags up by the checkout. They're 99 cents and they're printed on both sides. Cut the sides off, glue them together or sew them together, stuff them, put them on your porch. You'll never have to worry about them getting wet because they're plastic. This is a paper mache pumpkin pail. Remember when we used to blow up balloons and take newspaper and glue it and then paint it? This is about 4 layers of newspaper. I put a wire twine handle on it and I roughed it up a little bit and antiqued it a little bit because I like all my stuff looking old, and got you a paper mache pumpkin man. People keep asking me, why don't we see you in the videos? Well, first of all, it's new to me. I'm just learning, and by the time I take the pictures, I figure out what I'm going to say, I do the voiceovers, I do the editing. That's a lot. And to put my mug on here on top of that, that's too much right now. On my video, Getting to Know My Channel, you can see pictures of me. I mean, I'm not hiding. It's just too much right now. And it's really funny because I was in the beauty industry for 30 years. I worked in the beauty industry and I was all about hair and makeup. Now I'm all about stain and sawdust. I just want to do my stuff. And I'm at the point in my life where I want to share everything I've learned. I want to show you guys how to find things, where to find things, and how to use them. This is a little miniature that I made, and I wanted you to see it before I put it away. And these little guys here, they've been my life for 21 years. And I love them so much. And they have flown from the nest. So mom's got to stay busy. You know what I'm saying? So you might see my face someday and you may not. But if you guys like this video, please like and subscribe. I love you guys so much and I appreciate you.